Good early morning. So I'm in a very different location and I can't wait to turn the camera around so that way you all can see where I am. But I'm getting some gorgeous sunrise photos and this is where I am. Beautiful Hawaii. So I came out real early today and where I originally wanted to go was not open until 7 a.m. and it's actually, I don't think it's still 7 a.m. right now. So I had to come back a little bit to find sort of another scenic overlook area where I saw some people fishing, which you can see them out in the distance over there. So I came out, got here just in time because the light was starting to kind of light up the water a little bit. And so I got in position. So I actually have on my water shoes, which I rarely ever do. And I've actually been out in the water all day today. So I'm actually looking down because the water is coming up pretty high and my camera is down there. So I want to be mindful of that. So let me show you what my setup is. So I have the Sony A1 down there. Attached to it is the Zeiss Loxia 21. I have a 6-stop HIDA filter that's on the front right now. So I have my remote timer there. So what I'm actually doing is just using that to trigger the camera because here's the idea of what I'm wanting to do. So as the water comes up, I'm hitting the shutter right as it cascades, like right there. So the idea here is that I don't want the water to look like it's ice, so I don't want the exposure too long. So I'm going about maybe a fourth, fifth of a second, just depending on, you know, how, like for this, I might go a little longer just because it was a little minimal kind of cascade over the rocks. When the water comes in really strong, I want to go a little bit faster. So I'm just trying to slowly, you know, show the motion of the water. I don't want it to be where I eliminate the motion altogether. So that's why I'm kind of fluctuating my shutter speed as I go along. So see, this is a view that you don't see often. Got on my trusty water shoes here. So I had on my, you know, regular socks and shoes and then decided to put them in the trunk and bring out the water shoes and rolled my pants up. So there's my Peak Design bag, which is heavily loaded. So this is where I'm carrying all my gear in right now. So see how the water's coming up? So I would take it right there. Oh, that's actually beautiful. I need to be getting in position to take that. It's actually really, really good. So all I'm doing is just using this to trigger the camera. So that's the composition. Of course, I'm getting a mixture of vertical shots and horizontal shots, just for different uses, of course. So the sun is coming up a bit, but I'm still out here just to do a little filming and the light is still coming off really, really nice. It's not too strong like if it was later in the day. Just because it's still coming off the horizon, it's actually still really, really good right now. Look at that big old wave that came through, wow. Okay, we might get another one. Wow, it was massive. I hope I got some good frames of that. I just was snapping them, so we'll see how they came out. So before, I was actually down in there. So I would have been completely wiped out if I was still down there. We might get another, let's see. Let's see, it's coming. Not that much, not that much. Yeah, there was one. Oh, look at that. Massive, massive, massive. Will it make it? That's the question, will it make it? Doesn't look like it. But it still makes a somewhat good frame. Look at that gorgeous sun glow though. Very, very nice. So yeah, that's all I'm doing. I don't know where else I would probably go. I might wait till later in the day, go shoot sunset. So I'm just going down my list that I have. I've saved a lot of places on Google Maps. And we're just gonna see what looks appealing. I really don't have any kind of plans or mission for this particular trip. It's more really a vacation. So it's more so just to visit, sightsee. If I see something attractive that I want to take a picture of, take a picture of it. But I don't really have a set agenda, which is rare. Very unlikely for me. These waves have been coming in pretty massive. So like every time I get ready to record, That's when they want to stop. Oh, here's the one. Oh, look at this. So I changed the composition, doing some vertical shots. Let's see how that comes out. See how the waves just stop behind it? It's like, oh, it knows I'm recording, so it doesn't want to come back. So I might pack it up. Maybe, I don't think there's anything else that I want this morning. And I still have some work to do. Might get that done, get that out of the way. That way I can be prepared for sunset and see what we can get then. So what I was amazed at is that there wasn't supposed to be any cloud cover, but there is a little bit of clouds, which will work perfectly. Because you know me, I gotta have my clouds in my shots. Otherwise, they're a little bland to me. A little bland. Don't really like that too much. So we had a little cloud cover in there to really make the top of our image kind of pop a little bit. So we'll see what I can pull from post-processing if I got some really good keepers in there. Because I took quite a bit of frames. So I'm in the car and I think I'm just gonna go back to my hotel, go through and sort through some of these pictures. So I did make it back to my room and go through some pictures like I planned to do. And they came out straight fire from this morning. Absolutely came away with some good winners. I'm happy, I'm proud of myself. So this is where I've been working ever since I got back from shooting the sunrise this morning. And this is one of the pictures that I caught and had edited in Adobe Lightroom Classic. Freaking amazing. Amazing shot. I'm very happy with what I got today. So this is basically my little central workstation that I got going on here. And this is a room view of where I'm staying. So I have double balconies. So got a nice view going that way and then got one going this way. So if we come out, let's go out one of the doors. So you kind of see what the view is out here. Very nice, isn't it? Very nice view. So you got the beach over here, a lot of people out. It's not too congested though, which I like. So we got this view here. And as you can see, look at the cloud cover. That's why I want a skyline shot. I think that's going to be the winner for this evening. Let's hope. And then this is view 2. So this is on the second balcony. And you see, got a very, very nice view looking at the city this way. That actually is not a bad vantage point. That's really not a bad vantage point. So you zoom in there. See, that's a very nice framing. That's at 35. I might need to get that at some point. That's a very nice frame. But yeah, you see down here. Very, very nice, isn't it? So if I didn't choose to leave my room, I actually have very, very nice vantage points out here. And then of course you got the tables. There's tables on the other side and then have tables on this side. And then we just go back inside through there and there you go. So I know how much you all like seeing my gear, so I'll show you my camera setup. So I actually have one here on my tripod, which is the Sony Alpha 1 Aliyah. So right now I have attached the Zeiss Batis 85. So I brought the AF lens and not the manual, just because I wasn't sure of what I might see. And if I did do something that's maybe a little street-esque, I would want the autofocus version. So that's how come I just brought that one. Sony A1. And then I don't think I've ever really shown this new L bracket that I finally got, because a lot of people had said that, you know, I didn't have an L bracket. And yes, I didn't have one for a while on the A1 because the camera was too new. There wasn't one made yet. So finally I have one, and I don't remember what the company is called. They're Sunway. I don't know if you can see that, but it's called Sunway Photo. And then I have my wonderful ball head. I love this ball head. This is a Colorado Tripod Company ball head. The reason I love it is because it has this clamp, which, unlike most of the Arca Swiss ball heads, you actually have to twist the knob in order to lock the camera into place. This one is a clamp, kind of like how, you know, the tripod brackets that mount on the camera and then you can actually clip down on the ball head. Yeah, it's like that, but it's Arca Swiss. So that's why I really have enjoyed this one. Very, very great ball head. And then of course we have the Saray. So this is actually coming very, very handy. Waterproof tripod system. I was, of course, out in the ocean earlier and yeah, had this submerged in a lot of water. So what I do is, I kind of done a bad job with it today, is when I come back, especially with the salt water, I open it up and, you know, try to dry it off of the water and some of the sand that may have gotten in. And so that way, you know, my tripod is still reliable whenever I need it, just to keep it in good condition, good working condition. That's why, you know, I do try to keep it clean of any water and that stuff if it gets inside or whatnot. But yeah, that's my go-to setup. I do have some of my other gear here, which some of it I actually got over there on the floor. So over here on the floor, I have the Loxia 35, and that's the Loxia, that's the 50. And then over in the bag, I think the 21 is over there somewhere. Got some filters. Of course, I'm filming on the A7S III with the 16-35. And then I also brought my A9. So I wasn't sure what I was gonna be photographing. I don't ever take pictures really with the 7S III. So if I wanted a second camera body, I wanted to have the 9. But that's kind of why, you know, I'm definitely going to add a second A1 body. I love the camera. Most of the work that I'm doing these days is sort of basically more geared in that direction of using an A1. So that's why I want to have 2 bodies and then just put my lenses on, you know, have 2 different lenses. So that way I just pick up one body or the other and they're all identical. You know, I don't have to go from a 50 megapixel sensor to a 24. You know, everything is just the same. Just makes it easier. And then I don't know if I'll go through this now or later, but this is my new luggage, my away travel luggage. So this is the expanded medium, and it's the soft kind, like it's the soft shell. I don't like those hard shell luggages. I don't know why, but I just like the padded ones. So this is the padded one, and I'll probably go through the actual luggage later if people want to see that. I don't know if that really interests any of you all or not. I really don't know if you want to see my luggage, or, you know, maybe you are interested in how I pack my things. On the topic of packing, so my tripod here, when I go through the airport, some people have asked me, you know, as far as like checking my bags or anything. So I will check the tripod, but all of the rest of my camera equipment is in my backpack over there. Now I did check the Sony A9. If I do pack a camera, which 9 out of 10 times it may be a camera body, but sometimes it has been lenses too. I just pack them really well. And I think every time that I do that, I do have the insurance on my luggage as well. Or, you know, I have my American Express card if I book the trip, you know, kind of covered that way. And then my stuff is insured anyway. So, you know, I don't worry too much. But I know some people have asked me as far as when it comes to travel, how do I travel with my gear? But I always take my full gear on the plane, in my backpack. And I always sit in seats where I can put my bag under the seat. I don't like using the overhead bins. On this trip, I did use it because of the Delta One seats. On the first flight, I couldn't put it under the seat, but on the second one, I could. So just in that case, it's the first time I've ever put my bag in the overhead bin. Normally I don't do that. I always just put it under the seat. So that's how I travel with my camera gear.